17 signs your husband isn't attracted to you anymore. How to cope with it. Are you starting to feel like your husband isn't attracted to you anymore? Is he acting different, distant, or uninterested, leaving you questioning whether it's all in your head? You're not alone. Sometimes, the signs are subtle, but they're there. In this video, we'll explore 17 signs that your husband might be losing attraction and what you can do to fix it. From him spending more time away, avoiding intimacy, to choosing his phone over conversation. These behaviors could signal a deeper issue. But don't worry, we'll also share practical, expert-backed tips on how to reconnect, reignite that lost spark, and bring back the intimacy you once had. Ready to take control of your relationship and get the passion flowing again? Watch now and see if any of these signs sound familiar, and learn exactly what to do next. 1. He's spending more time away from you. Lately, it feels like your husband is making himself scarce. He's finding excuses to avoid spending time together or cutting dates short. It might seem like he's always busy or just too tired, but this could be more than just a busy schedule. When a partner actively chooses to distance themselves, it can signal emotional or physical withdrawal. If he's no longer as eager to spend time with you, it might be because his attraction has faded. Don't let this distance drive a wedge between you. If quality time is lacking, make a plan to reconnect. Even with busy lives, aim for one meaningful date a month and spend at least 30 minutes daily focused on each other, whether it's cooking dinner together, going for a walk, or simply talking. These small but intentional moments can reignite the bond that seems to be slipping away. 2. Quality time together feels forced. Do your hangouts feel more like obligations than actual fun? If your husband seems to be just going through the motions, distracted or checking his phone constantly, it might be a sign that he's losing interest. Feeling like the time spent together is forced or routine can be a major red flag in a relationship. While it's common for couples to get stuck in a rut, it's important to recognize when it's becoming an issue. Don't let your relationship get stale. Keep things fresh and exciting by breaking out of your usual routine. Plan spontaneous trips. Try something new together like salsa dancing or cooking classes, or even spend a weekend road tripping to a place neither of you has been before. These fresh experiences can reignite his attention and bring some spark back into your relationship. 3. He's putting less effort into the relationship. If your husband used to surprise you with sweet gestures, whether it was flowers, compliments, or thoughtful notes, but has stopped, it's a sign that his interest or attraction might have faded. Over time, relationships evolve, but they should never lose all sense of romance. It's easy for partners to get comfortable, but that doesn't mean effort should disappear entirely. Neglecting each other can lead to emotional distance and dissatisfaction. If you feel like the romance is fading, don't stay quiet. Have an honest conversation with your husband about how you want more effort and affection. Suggest simple but meaningful actions like cooking your favorite meal, giving a surprise gift, or even just a warm hug when you least expect it. Take the initiative to lead by example. Romance isn't a one-way street. Leave cute love notes around the house. Send him a sweet message in the middle of his workday. Or plan something small but special just for him. By creating a romantic vibe, you can inspire him to do the same and rekindle the magic in your relationship. 4. You're having less sex. A lack of sex might indicate physical or emotional distance between you. It's normal to have less sex after the honeymoon phase is over, but a poor sex life can be a cause for concern. If your husband rarely initiates sex, has trouble performing, or refuses to return the favor, he might be feeling disconnected to you. However, other reasons for a sex slowdown include stress, exhaustion, and mismatched libidos, so don't assume the worst just yet. If you're unsure why your partner is pulling away, ask him. Talking about sex can help you understand your partner's wants and needs and lead to more satisfying experiences. After expressing what you both want out of sex, feel free to spice things up in the bedroom. Send your husband a naughty text to keep things exciting. Talk dirty in daily conversations, and find ways to bring each other's sexual fantasies to life. 5. Your husband chooses porn over sex with you. If your husband frequently chooses porn over physical intimacy with you, it could signal a deeper issue in your relationship. While everyone has different boundaries when it comes to porn, using it to replace actual intimacy can harm your connection. This might indicate that he's engaging in fantasies or acts he feels he can't share with you. If you feel like he's prioritizing porn over your relationship, it's essential to open a conversation about his sexual desires and how they align with your own. Express your feelings calmly, without judgment. Share how his actions make you feel and be open to hearing his perspective. Together, you can work toward a compromise that makes both of you feel more comfortable. For instance, you might say, "I've noticed you've been watching a lot of porn lately, and it's making me feel like you're not attracted to me anymore. Can we talk about what we can do to make our sex life more exciting?" 6. He always tries to pick a fight. Arguing is a normal part of any relationship, but when your husband is constantly picking fights over small things, it could be a sign that something deeper is wrong. He may be using arguments as a way to create distance or get alone time, especially if he avoids making up afterward. Constant bickering can quickly chip away at the foundation of your relationship, making it hard to reconnect. Try to break the cycle by addressing the root of the problem. Approach him calmly and express your feelings, using I statements to avoid blame. Focus on solutions rather than getting caught up in the argument itself. You might say, "I feel hurt when we fight over small things. I'd love for us to talk through our issues without turning them into bigger arguments. Maybe we could write down our feelings and share them when we're calm." 7. He doesn't show platonic physical affection. Physical touch is one of the most powerful ways to express love and affection, but it doesn't always have to be sexual. Simple acts like a hug, kiss on the cheek, or holding hands can strengthen your bond. If your husband has stopped showing these small, non-sexual gestures of affection, it might be a sign that the passion has faded in your relationship. To reintroduce physical affection, take the lead. Offer him a hug when he gets home or playfully grab his hand when you're out in public. These small touches can help rekindle the warmth between you. Additionally, consider exploring each other's love languages to better understand how he shows affection. Sometimes, partners express love in different ways, and identifying those differences can reignite the spark. 8. He never compliments you. Compliments are a key way partners show attraction and appreciation. If your husband used to praise your looks, intelligence, or personality but has stopped altogether, it could indicate that his attraction has waned. However, a lack of compliments doesn't always mean the love is gone, it could just be a matter of routine or complacency setting in. If you miss hearing those sweet words, take the first step by complimenting him. Show him how good it feels to be appreciated, and he may follow suit. You could say something like, "You always know how to make me laugh," or "I love how thoughtful you are." By focusing on positive traits, you can subtly encourage him to start complimenting you again and revive the verbal affection in your relationship. 9. There's a lack of deep communication in your relationship. Healthy relationships thrive on meaningful conversations. If your husband rarely opens up about his thoughts, feelings, or experiences, it could signal emotional distance. When communication becomes shallow or non-existent, it can feel like your connection is fading. He may no longer feel comfortable being vulnerable, or he might be withdrawing because of unresolved issues. To bring back deep communication, initiate conversations about more than just daily routines. Share your feelings openly and encourage him to do the same. Approach these talks with patience and understanding. Let him know that you're there to listen without judgment, saying something like, "I've noticed we don't talk like we used to. I'd love to hear more about what's going on in your life and how you're feeling." This can help re-establish emotional intimacy and show him that you care. 10. He doesn't engage in everyday conversation. If your husband no longer participates in regular conversations, it could mean that he's either distracted by other things in his life or disinterested in your relationship. When a partner stops engaging in small talk or ignores daily conversations, it can feel like you're talking to a brick wall. This lack of interaction could be a sign that he's mentally checked out or preoccupied with something else. Before assuming the worst, consider that he may be overwhelmed or stressed. Give him the opportunity to express what's on his mind by asking, "Is there something bothering you lately? I've noticed you're a bit distant." If it feels like he's just not listening, adjust your approach. Preface your conversations with, "This is important to me, and I'd love to hear your thoughts," to grab his attention and emphasize the value of what you're saying. By doing so, you can gently re-engage him in the conversations that are essential for maintaining connection in your relationship. 11. He disrespects you in public and private. When your husband criticizes or insults you, whether you're alone or in front of others, it's a glaring sign of a toxic relationship. Disrespect in any form, be it name-calling or belittling your appearance, reflects a deeper issue in how he views and values you. This behavior is never okay and can erode your self-esteem over time. If you want to address this problem, consider seeking advice from a trusted friend or family member for an outside perspective. Couples therapy can also be a safe space to talk through issues and work toward rebuilding mutual respect. If the disrespect escalates or feels unbearable, take steps to protect yourself. Make it clear that this behavior is unacceptable, and prepare for the possibility of ending the relationship. Practice the conversation ahead of time and assert your boundaries firmly. In cases where his behavior turns abusive, ensure your safety first. Contact a domestic violence hotline or use their online chat to discreetly plan your exit. 12. He expresses interest in other women. If your husband flirts with other women, it may signal that he's seeking excitement or validation elsewhere. This behavior is often a red flag for declining attraction or dissatisfaction within your marriage. While a dwindling sex life or frequent arguments may contribute to his behavior, it's important to remember that flirting with others shows a lack of respect. Confront your husband about how his actions make you feel. For example, you could say, "I feel hurt and disrespected when you flirt with other women. I wish we could work through these feelings together rather than looking outside our relationship for excitement." Sometimes, a partner may flirt because they feel neglected. While this doesn't excuse their behavior, addressing the root cause can help you both find a way to restore intimacy in the relationship. 13. There's no talk about the future. When your husband avoids discussing the future, it could mean he's unsure about his commitment or attraction to you. Healthy relationships often involve planning for shared goals, whether it's vacations, buying a home, or starting a family. If your partner avoids these conversations, it doesn't always mean he wants a divorce, but it might indicate that his priorities have shifted. If your husband has anxiety about commitment, couples therapy can help him work through his fears and any unresolved issues from past relationships. Together, you can discuss ways to create a future that makes both of you feel secure and excited. 14. He only seems to care about himself. A marriage should be a partnership, but if your husband makes decisions without you or dismisses your input, it could indicate he's no longer invested in the relationship. This behavior might suggest that he views your relationship as less of a team effort and more about individual gain. To bring back intimacy, remind your husband that you're in this together. Reassure him that you've got his back, but also stress that a marriage needs both partners to work as a team. Celebrating each other's achievements can help restore a sense of mutual respect and partnership. 15. He isn't dependable. If your husband forgets commitments or dismisses promises, it might be a sign that he's checked out emotionally. Ignoring plans, arriving late, or simply not showing up may suggest a deeper issue. He might be uninterested or too comfortable in the relationship to make an effort. Address this directly by discussing how his actions make you feel. Instead of framing it broadly, give specific examples to prevent him from feeling defensive. Open the door to understanding why this behavior is happening, and see if there's room for improvement in how you both approach commitments. 16. He treats you like a friend. Friendship is an important part of marriage, but if your relationship feels purely platonic, it may be a sign that the romantic spark is fading. While it's great to be close friends with your spouse, a successful marriage also needs passion and intimacy. To reignite the spark, bring an element of mystery back into the relationship. Plan spontaneous surprises, be unpredictable, and engage in activities that break your usual routine. Adding excitement can bring back the thrill that may have faded over time. 17. He prioritizes his friends over you. It's healthy for your husband to spend time with his friends, but if he's consistently choosing them over you, it could be a sign of trouble. If he's making plans without you or staying out late frequently, it may mean he values his time with friends more than your relationship. Next time he makes plans with friends, ask if you can join. He might not even realize that you'd like to be included. Spending time with his social circle together can help strengthen your bond and boost intimacy.